Well, the trade deadline, it's come and gone. Some of the biggest names, they stayed put. Of course, Giannis remained with the Bucks. The Grizzlies held on to Ja Morant, at least for now. As we say hello and happy Friday, Malika Andrews here alongside Brian Windhurst, our resident big man Kendrick Perkins, the one and only Bobby Marks. And you know it is a big show when Tim Legler flies in to join us here in studio. Tim, thanks so much for
hanging. Good to be here with my peeps.
I like the combo. I like the combo on the suit, legs. I ain't gonna lie.
Always looking sharp. And it's good to have you here, Tim, because it's been about 24 hours, just about, since the NBA trade deadline. And we haven't gotten a chance to hear who your biggest winner is that you're keying in on.
Big winner for me is the Indiana Pacers. You get Zubac. I'm sorry. That, for me, is the biggest win, particularly when if you make the assumption next year you're going to get Halliburton back healthy, right? I know that's maybe a big assumption because that's a serious injury. But if you can make that assumption, when you pair him with Pascal Siakam and now you have Zubac, when you start talking about big threes and particularly how it relates to the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers immediately inject themselves right back into the conversation as a team that potentially can make it all the way to the NBA Finals. I know they gave up some pieces they really liked. They gave up some picks as well. Bobby's more about those picks. I know how much he values those, but you give up Benedict Mathurin, I know that's a lot. Isaiah Jackson, those guys matter. When you have a talent like Zubac, I'm sorry, you put him with Halliburton and Siakam, Perk, they're right there in the mix again at the top of the East.
You miss me, huh?
I saw Malika looking at you a certain way.
Legs, I miss you, brother. But I got the Pacers, out of all the moves that was made yesterday, you know where I'm going.
Well, we know for you it's the Knicks.
You damn right it's the Knicks. It's the Knicks. I mean, think about it. They made a small move, but an important move when they went out and got Jose, but they didn't have to make a move. You know why? Because the Bucks didn't trade Giannis. So now they're playing with house money.
Well, let's see if you agree maybe then on the biggest loser
Tim
Let me see,
here.
Who are you looking at saying, oh, I can't quite get there?
I don't think he's going to agree with me on this because it's not necessarily anything relevant to right now this year because of the season they've had. But I'm looking at the Sacramento Kings. I'm sorry. I'm looking at a team.
They've been losing, Larry.
You're right, which is exactly why you don't jettison off any parts. Right? You got a team full of veteran guys, and you basically have the same exact team that's led to 12 wins to this point in the season. I'm just shocked that there wasn't some movement. I know they tried to get into talks for Sabonis, that was not able to be something that they got done.
Right.
But I'm just looking at a team with all that veteran talent, and you've got 12 wins, last place in the Western Conference, and you don't do anything. You're just going to stand pat for the rest of the season. And really the future as well doesn't look too good in Sacramento.
There's a phrase we use in the front office, Legs. If you want to dance, you got to have a dance partner. And there was nobody willing to dance with the Sacramento Kings yesterday.
See, I thought he was going to say if you want to dance, you got to have a dance party. And I guess Sacramento also didn't have that. The thing about the deadline, though, there's still business to be handled around the league. Business as usual, games to be played. So let's turn now to tonight. The Warriors at the Suns. Steph Curry out for the second straight game. He has runner's knee. This was a nail-biting finish, though. Less than 20 seconds left. The Suns down 2. Dillon Brooks misses. Warriors come up with it, scramble here, and eventually throwing it ahead to DeAnthony Melton, who lays it in at the horn. The Warriors win. Here's Steve Kerr after the game.
Yeah, felt like we won the championship. We needed that. We needed it. You know, everything has just been, tough this last week or 10 days and whatever it is since Jimmy's been out, and it felt like a great team win where everybody just fought and competed and stayed with it, and it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch.
And you can see that. You could really feel the joy. Our Anthony Slater, who covers the Warriors, is with us now. We keep saying Steph Curry has runner's knee. What exactly is runner's knee?
It didn't look like much when he was out there celebrating on the court last night.
Right.
Well, look, Steph Curry runs marathons basically during the game, but from what I understand, it's just like a dull pain, some swelling. It flared up in Minnesota a couple weeks ago, and they're just trying to tame it down, him and Rick Celebrini. So I expect him to be cautious. I asked him. I talked to him for about 5 minutes post-game last night. He says he does not know when he's going to return, but he wants to be able to manage this on the second half of the season. But I would say, having spoken with him last night, he's like remarkably calm and level-headed right now, post-deadline. A lot of angst around the Warriors, but happy with the Porzingis fit. Hopes he can stay healthy. Still sad about the Jimmy Butler injury. That's been devastating to them, but they just want to get in the playoffs at this point and be a threat. I think they want 1 or 2 games where we're going like, hey, they're down 2-1, big night tonight. So that's kind of what they're focused on.
Well, in the Warriors, it sort of always feels like if Steph Curry is on the floor, if they can get to the postseason, then you kind of never know what's going to happen. But as you reported, they turned their sights away from Giannis and then quickly turned to that Kristaps Porzingis deal.
Yeah.
Mark, how are they feeling about that?
They're excited, but they don't know when he's going to play. They're not worried about the Pots. As he knows, Celebrini
The illness.
is a mastermind. They think he'll get them right. This is the guy that the Warriors have wanted for years, a center, 7 foot. He's like the tallest Warrior they've had since Manute and Ralph Sampson. Shooting threes, rim protection. I just wish we saw him with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Look,
Celebrini, remember Otto Porter in the championship season? He was brought in, kind of low bargain. People didn't know about his health. Celebrini kept him healthy, and he was a part of a championship. But that's kind of what they're hoping for with Porzingis. They're going to take a crack at it. If he is healthy, it would be, he'd really help a ton down the season. But the reality is $30.7 million expiring contract. Right. If it works out, you could probably get him back next season on a bargain when Jimmy Butler's back. If it doesn't work out, fans don't want to hear this, but it's probably just a savings move. You dump the Jonathan Kuminga contract and you wipe your hands.
Sure. Legs are calling the game this weekend. Warriors-Lakers, which always has a big feel to it, even with Steph Curry not looking like he's going to play, Luka Doncic not looking likely to play in this one. What are you going to be watching closely?
Well, yeah, it's a shame those guys won't be out there. But obviously, they drive the offenses for these two teams. Still going to be a lot of talent on the court. This comes down to three-point shooting. It's that simple. The Golden State Warriors take more than any team in the league. They took 55 of them last night. And the Lakers have had a hard time defending the three-point line. That's what this game is going to come down to. The effort that the Lakers are going to have to expend to make sure that they don't allow guys to get hot early. Now, last night, Warriors had great contributions across the board with some of the role players got expanded roles. Those guys jumped all over it. I was really impressed with the Warriors' defense. Against a team in Phoenix, you've got to show up to be able to kill them. And they did it. And that's why you saw that reaction, and they're feeling pretty good about being able to walk out of there with a win. Now, let's see if they can pull that off against the Lakers, who could be shorthanded without Luka.
Seeing that joy from the Golden State Warriors, that's one of the most fun things about this team. The biggest trade at the deadline, it was James Harden to the Cavaliers. But one Eastern Conference executive not so impressed by the move. Take a listen to this.
We like our chances in the East. We feel like we're in the mix with the top teams there. Obviously, we've got to prove that on the court. But, yeah, I'm just reiterating. Yeah, we were hoping to add, and we didn't add. But we still believe in this team. Like, it's still the team that people believed in. Folks have speculated on the improvements of our East competitors. I don't see it personally. I think all the teams made moves at the deadline, but there weren't any needle movers, in my opinion.
There weren't.
If it's one executive that should not talk in front of the microphone, that's him.
There weren't any needle movers.
Malika, I need a Celtics-Cavs playoff series. Celtics-Cavs playoff series.
I mean, seriously, like, he's the prime example of what Wendy always say. Actions over words. We don't want to hear from you, Dale Moore, because obviously you weren't watching what was going on. The Detroit Pistons, they got better, meaning adding Kevin Huerter.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't think this was about...
What was it about?
Oh,
It's only about one guy that ended up in Cleveland.
Yeah, I know it's personal, but you're going to have to see him, and he's ready to see you.
This was this close. If this had happened earlier this week, this would have been a part of our hit game, because y'all know what day it is?
What? It's Friday.
What it do, baby?
I got 5 kids.
I ain't scared of nobody.
It's on the wall.
Every basket I have to earn with meat.
What? Damn.
Oh, that Kristaps quote will never not make me laugh. It's Friday, so let's have some fun. It's our hit game, Who Said That? We're going to take a look at some of the quotes that caught our attention and ask our esteemed contestants who said that. Bobby, you cheated last week,
I'm in jail.
Bobby
cheated for a week.
Not Bobby.
We're giving Tim a chance because Perk is...
I'm just trying to get
I wasn't aware of the cheating.
Yeah. Here's a look at the current standings.
Nice, Wendy. Good work.
Wendy has a
No,
C,
I'm very lucky.
so we will allow him to go first this week.
All right.
Brian, who said this, quote, I had to have some wrong with me to get to this point. My dad was a psycho. Was it Kevin Love? Was it Peyton Pritchard? Or was it Mr. Murray?
It's an easy one.
It is? Oh, well, he just gave it. Well, I'm going to say Kevin Love then.
Was it, in fact, Kevin Love?
Kirk just helped me.
I had to have something wrong with me to get to this point.
Was this on your podcast?
No.
My dad was a psycho.
My dad was a psycho.
Dub Nation, let me ask you something right now. What if the move that didn't happen is actually the one that could change everything this summer? Because while everybody was locked in on the trade deadline, watching deals fly across the league, watching stars get moved, watching chaos unfold, the biggest story wasn't a trade. It was the trade that didn't happen. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still in Milwaukee. But if you were paying attention closely, you heard it. You felt it. He was open to parting ways. The Bucks listened, teams called, offers were aggressive, and Golden State was watching. Now let's slow this down for a second. The Warriors just pulled out a gritty, emotional win against Phoenix without Steph Curry. No superstar heroics, no 40-foot daggers, just defense, heart, role players stepping up, and that vintage Warriors culture Steve Kerr keeps talking about. You saw the bench, you saw the celebration. Kerr literally said it felt like they won the championship. That's not about one regular season game. That's about a team that's been through adversity and is still fighting. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Imagine dropping Giannis into that environment. You're talking about a two-time MVP, a finals MVP, a top 3 player in the world, a guy who dominates both ends of the floor. Now pair that with Steph Curry's gravity, Draymond Green's defensive IQ, the motion offense, the spacing, the culture of sacrifice. That's not just a contender, that's a power shift in the entire Western Conference. But here's the reality. Milwaukee reportedly wanted to be blown away. We're talking 5 to 6 first-round picks. That's not a small ask. That's a franchise-altering demand. So the question becomes, would Golden State be willing to pay that price? Would you trade future flexibility for a guaranteed championship window extension with Steph still playing at an elite level? Because let's be honest, the Warriors' window is closed narrative has been floating around for 2 years now. Analysts love saying it. They say the dynasty is over. They say it's Thunder now, Nuggets now, young teams rising. But every time you watch this team when they're healthy, when Steph is cooking, when Draymond is locked in, you realize something. They're not done. They're dangerous. And the playoffs are about dangerous teams. Giannis changes that conversation entirely. Think about it. In the half court, when things slow down, defenses trap Steph 35 feet from the rim. What happens if Giannis is rolling into open space behind that? Who rotates? Who helps? You can't build a wall when there's a sniper like Steph spacing the floor. You can't double Giannis without giving up threes. It would be basketball math that simply doesn't make sense for opposing teams. And don't forget the defensive side. Golden State has struggled at times protecting the rim. Giannis solves that instantly. Transition defense, elite. Switchability, elite. Rebounding, elite. He fits the Warriors' DNA of positionless, high IQ basketball. Now, am I saying this is happening tomorrow? No. The deadline passed. Milwaukee held firm. But the uncertainty isn't gone. Giannis reportedly made it clear he felt it might be time for both sides to move on. That doesn't disappear overnight. If the Bucks don't build a true contender this offseason, the conversation reopens. And when it does, you better believe every front office in the league will be calling again. The Warriors stayed relatively quiet. They didn't mortgage everything at the deadline. Some fans got frustrated. Some wanted fireworks. But maybe, just maybe, patience is the strategy. Maybe they're evaluating. Maybe they're positioning. Maybe they understand that a seismic move doesn't happen in February. It happens when leverage shifts. And here's what I love about this moment. The Warriors don't look desperate. They look composed. Steph is managing his knee carefully. The front office made calculated moves. They're trying to get to the playoffs and be a threat. That word matters, threat, because in a 7-game series, if Steph Curry is healthy, nobody wants to see Golden State. Nobody. Now add Giannis to that equation. That's not just a threat, that's fear. Dub Nation, this is why you don't overreact to every headline. The story isn't finished. The NBA moves in waves. Power shifts slowly until it shifts all at once. The Bucks are betting they can rebuild around Giannis. The Warriors are betting on culture, health, and timing. But if the opportunity comes, if the Bucks blink, if Giannis truly decides he wants a different stage, don't think for a second that the Bay won't be ready. Because the thought of Steph Curry and Giannis Antetokounmpo sharing the same floor isn't just intriguing, it's terrifying for the rest of the league. And that's the part nobody's talking about loudly enough. The dynasty might not be over, it might just be waiting for its next chapter.